Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com with this week's Q&A. All of these questions have come from our Patrons or our YouTube channel members, so you can become a member from as little as $2 a month, and it helps towards covering a load of the bills and stuff that are required for the podcast, etc. So let's jump into the questions. There's a lot of Star ones this week as well as we get ready for the launch of that next month, so let's jump into it. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Gavin asks, with the new Doctor being tied up with Disney in the US, but a Sony co-production and Sky inking a deal with Sony for its shows and films, do you over time see Disney becoming the distributor for Good Doctor internationally? For me personally, I'd love to see Disney have distribution rights for the series because I like the show. I've watched the first 2 seasons, waiting on the third one to start over here in the UK. There's going to be obviously on Now TV Sky. It's one of those things that with distribution, they kind of do it to kind of cut costs, but more importantly really is ABC would have just brought the rights for the US for that show. It is a shame that it's not going to happen, but it's just one of those situations. I don't think Sony are going to sell it because they're making money from it in all the other networks. It's just the fact that obviously ABC are making it. It's a bit of an odd one. This is one of those things that we'll probably see more of, and Sony doing all these little deals and stuff, so I'm going to continue. But I'd love to see it happen, but I can't see it happening anytime soon. Joseph asked, what's the difference with distribution and the original network? If the original network is Sony, but the network is Fox or ABC, does that mean Star could get the shows that the network say ABC or Fox, even if Sony distributes it? It's so confusing. You are right, it is very confusing, and you've kind of got to look really at the distribution level rather than the original network, because while they have sort of a hold over where it is and where it's going from, the access to maybe the legacy content then belongs to whoever is distributing it, and also internationally it's a bit different as well. So say for example the 911 show, currently it's shown here on Sky. In the US it's shown on the Fox network, but 20th Century TV are making it, and so there is always that kind of issue of who's got the rights to it. It's very confusing. I think it's almost done on a case-by-case basis. Joshua asked, with the domestic rights to football up for grabs in the UK and Italy, do you see Disney via ESPN making a play for them, or do you think they will look to see how things go in the next cycle? Personally, right now, I wouldn't like to say so. Obviously, football rights cost a lot. You know, here in the UK, we've got like Sky and the BBC and BT all kind of going for it. So adding ESPN Plus as well over here would be a bit more tricky, and trying to convince people to take out another subscription would be hard. You know, they've been showing stuff here as well on Amazon, and I know especially with some of my friends that are football fans, they don't like it enough as it is with them being spread around. So I just think Disney probably is in a position where they need to focus, and if they were going to do sports, they wouldn't have done the thing with Star, and that's the only way I can think of that they would have done. Personally, I'm not a sports fan, but seeing all the problems that they're having in the US with the amount of people leaving ESPN because of the old ways they used to do it, I don't know if they would want to do it, carry on, who knows. But yeah, personally, I can't see them going for it. Bad Dog Gaming asks, for all the countries that get Star, will the price change come on February the 23rd or before the release of Star? So with regards to the price going up for Disney Plus, where Star is going to be available, for example, in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and across Europe, yeah, the price point will be going up that day because of all the new content. But if you've already got like a monthly subscription, that month will still be whatever you've paid before. Same thing for the annual pass. I think they're going to be continuing that on for 6 months until the price goes up. So if you are due for a renewal, it's probably a good time to do it. They've done it very sneakily in some ways, especially for us in Europe, because it's kind of doing it a month before everyone's annual subscriptions are up. So when you come to renew in March, you've kind of got the price rise. So that, I mean, that's what's going to affect me and a number of other people. But yeah, it's going to be going up. Disney Plus will be going up even in the US by $1 because they're going to basically paying for all these Star Wars and Marvel shows, and they've got to keep, you know, that's a way of raising more revenue. So it would be going up for everybody around the globe anyway, but for us in the Star areas, it's going up by double that. So it's going up by like £2 or €2 to cover all of this extra cost. Personally, for me, I think it's great because we're essentially doubling the size of the Disney Plus library with the Star content. But yeah, that price is going to be changing. They've been very quiet about it so far. I think they may have wanted to get the WandaVision stuff out the way first and kind of let that kind of carry on, because we're about a month away now from Style arriving, so we'll suspect we will start seeing a lot more. I mean, like in Canada and Australia and stuff, they've really not been promoting it at all. It's only really here in the UK that we've had a little bit of news about it. So Joshua asked about whether or not Disney could possibly buy ITV here in the UK to try and increase their reality TV because of the number of mergers and stuff going on right now. I can't see Disney buying ITV. I think any US company buying ITV right now would be very difficult in terms of would it be acceptable. It's very tricky. We're in a really weird stage right now with companies and also the influence. I think Disney are probably in that position right now where they will just want to buy shows as and when, from production companies. They might. The thing is, if they buy the production companies, it might be a way of doing it. But ITV, they don't want linear TV anymore. They don't need it. They don't need that situation because Disney Plus can do that without buying television. They don't need the network. They need the production companies. Whether or not they do a deal for other content and stuff, I don't know. The Random Movie Fan asks, since Disney owns the US rights to Rolie Polie Olie, could they make it possible to see like a US exclusive for both new and old episodes, just so that other countries have their own exclusives, such as Latin America and Italy? Yes, it's very, very likely that this show could be available on Disney Plus if they have the US rights for it. Very tricky with Rolie Polie Olie. I don't know what's going on, but I know they are making some new shows. For example, there's a number of shows and movies that are only available in the US that aren't available everywhere else. I think with regards to Disney Plus originals, they maybe wouldn't want to invest too much in a show they can only use in the US. You've got to think now, Disney Plus originals, the whole point of it is as international, and yeah, I don't think they would maybe want to do that as just a Disney Plus original. I can't see it, but you're very right that they could easily make the library available. That's happened already on a number of things, like for example The Princess Bride. The Random Movie Fan also asked, since Disney Channel is losing ratings, will the new Disney Channel episodes be available on Disney Plus? Well, this is a question that I personally would rather them do. I think every Friday we need to be getting all the Disney Channel and National Geographic shows that have been on TV that week. I think that's something they should be doing. I think it's something they need to be doing to kind of boost up what's available. We are starting to see this happening a little bit more. For example, here in the UK, like in Australia, where we don't have the Disney channels. I had an email the other day telling me that some of the TOTS TV shows are almost like dropping weekly. They're not making a lot of noise of it, but they have been starting to do that. I think we will see this more and more, but at the minute they're kind of trying to keep the cable networks happy. And finally, Joshua asks, are there any must-have features that are needed on Disney Plus? There are loads of different features that we would like to see from other streaming services over there. I'm sure you've all got your own, so you let me know in the comments below. For me personally, I would like a little coming soon area to kind of say what is coming up, necessarily like trailers and stuff, and just kind of put little things in there. But also the leaving, that is my big one. I would like, if a movie is leaving Disney Plus, especially in the United States, doesn't seem to be happening everywhere else, is to put a little yellow note on there like they do with the coming soon section for some of those movies, and state that this show is leaving on this date. They don't necessarily need to do a leaving soon area, because there's not enough stuff. I mean, there's no point having a whole area where you click in there and there's just one movie leaving. I can get why they wouldn't want to do that, but I would like them to at least acknowledge in there so we all know that it's going soon. And same thing for it returning. Say like something is removed, that they instantly put it back with a date of when it's expected to come back. Or I know it just makes sense to. So if you go in there and go, oh right, the Wolverine's gone. Oh, it's coming back in 3 months. You'll know. Just be transparent. Other streaming networks do it, but Disney Plus doesn't. That's the one for me that personally annoys me the most. I know there's lots of little issues and stuff that people have. Personally, I'd like the search to be a bit better. I think it's a little bit bad at the minute. I know they've had some issues with basically typing like Disney, and it just gets so much because they've put Disney in the title of everything. Things can be a little bit tricky to find with that. I'd like some more sort of selections, some more collections, and just a little bit more menu, just to kind of show you stuff, so you can kind of get a pick of what to watch. Because when you go into that movie section, it's massive, and then you go into the TV series and it's massive. It needs a little. The Disney area is just insane, got too much stuff in it. It needs a little bit more focus. I do like the collections, and I wish they added more of them to make it a lot easier to find stuff. But again, if they put too many in there, that loses it. So they need to find a way of adding some more little ways of finding stuff in there. But nevertheless, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of all of this week's questions. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember, you can ask a question if you become a Patreon or a YouTube channel member. You also get other benefits as well. You get little special emojis. You also get early access to some of our shows. For example, we do a weekly review show. Today I put up the Wreck-It Ralph video. There's a couple more coming up this month as well. You also get your name at the end of the credits if you are of a certain, if you're in the Gold members and above. So that's another little perk. And you also get a shout out on the podcast each week. So there we go. So again, thank you for all of your support for those patrons and YouTube members that submitted their questions. And I shall see you guys in another video. Later.